Hey,
Hey Monty,
hey, how's it going?
it's going good. Trying to invite people. Let's see, share the permanent link. There we go. Copy. Now I can just send out the email to everybody because I didn't have Gabby's email or Gmail to invite her and a couple of people. It's not showing up that I'm able to invite them, so I'm trying to get everyone here.
Is Gabby even in our group still?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure she is, unless she dropped the class. I haven't heard much from her.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I know we just got an email. Let me see who emailed us. Come on. Sorry. My school email is being slow. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I didn't want to write a whole page on stuff that we weren't actually going to be researching anymore.
Yeah.
So now we're back to square one, and so we've decided we're just going to do vaccines itself.
Yeah, I believe that's kind of where we're going. I was able to call and talk to Sister Suker,
Okay.
and she said if that's kind of what our original um, idea was about, was we wanted to analyze a particular vaccine with a particular with HPV. She said uh, this is kind of the closest we could get to that type of subject, just because the school is so strict on kind of what things you can and can't touch. So,
Yeah.
and she said it's a problem that they've been having ever since the class was created, but it's like it's hard because she can't really fight it because she's not there at the campus. And then when she tells her superiors, hey, I want to do something about this, they say, well, the honor code office has told us that blah blah blah, we can't do this because it's against the honor code. It's just, she said it's just kind of a whole mess.
Wow.
So she said that we're not the only group this semester that's been having issues. So
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
does. I mean, I understand, we're a conservative school, but it seems a little naive to be like, oh, you're not allowed to study any sexual diseases, nothing,
yeah,
there's no sex ed at all. Our students are going to be
yeah,
safe by abstinence, and we're not going to teach anything else.
yeah.
It's like,
And
okay.
yeah, welcome to BYU, Idaho.
Yeah. I guess growing up outside of Utah and never having actually lived in Utah, I'm a little, you know,
Yeah.
to the other views. Welcome, Hannah. Are you there,
Yes.
Hannah? Okay. So Mariah said she couldn't come, and Gabby, I don't know what's going on there. So I guess we'll kind of. Do you want to? Should we video the broadcast so we can email it out to Mariah and Gabby since they're not here and they can kind of know what we talked about?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So I'm going to go live. This is live? Oh, I already am.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not. while I'm broadcasting. So there's that. For some reason, I did not know that I was. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do. So we're saying that we're going to research all vaccines now?
Yeah, so maybe just, I guess, so what Sister Secret had, oh, jeez, what is the word? I cannot remember the word. Yes, there we go. Holy cow. She said that we should probably stick above the 18 age, so anybody above 18, and she said possibly break it down into groups, like if you want to study this, try and break it into ages of like 18 to 25, 25 to 30, and then 30 and above, or
And
something
so what
like
exactly are we talking about with vaccines? Like how people feel about them, or?
that. Like what the perceived, so if the perceived notion of the benefits and drawbacks of vaccines,
Okay.
if it's different with different age groups.
Okay.
And so it's kind of something that's basic enough that it still meets the requirements of the class, and it's also basic enough that we can gather the primary research that we need to gather on it within such a
There's
short
also secondary research on it too, so that's good.
Yeah. So and that's the hard thing about this class is we have really only a couple weeks where we're able to gather the research we need to, and so it has to be something super basic, but that still requires everything else, and so.
Okay. So I guess as far as this paper that we have due next week, are we researching like just benefits and things, or?
Well,
Yeah, so I had a really lengthy conversation with her last night because I was kind of like, I was a little ticked because I'm like, holy cow, I feel like we're a little far behind, but she had said that maybe for this upcoming paper that if you go to the McKay Library or ProQuest or whatever and just type in like Boolean terms like benefits and disadvantages and perceived different age groups, it'll pop up with a whole bunch of different stuff. And so she said maybe with this paper have a section where some of us present some of the benefits that people perceive, and then in a different section, so like maybe 2 pages of the perceived benefits and then 2 pages of the perceived disadvantages. And so then that way we're kind of covering both of our parts of our research.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I was trying to look at some things yesterday to, bring some things to the meeting, but I didn't know what exactly we were going for. So I was kind of looking up vaccines and what people thought. But no, I think that's a good idea to just present both the pros and the cons according to people and go from there. I think that's good.
okay. Okay, so we've got benefits, disadvantages, and perceived notions of different age groups about vaccines. So our goal this week is to develop research questions regarding that. So do we just want to say, what do 18 to 25-year-olds, what do 18 to 25-year-olds think the benefits of vaccines are? What do 25 to 30-year-olds think the benefits of vaccines are, things of that sort? Is that how we want to break it down?
Yeah, I would say so. And then just so like we don't kind of step on each other's feet when we're trying to do our write-ups, maybe have each person do a specific section and then just kind of put it all in that Google Doc.
Are we trying to do, since we can't do HPV, I'm thinking, a lot of people have strong opinions about the flu vaccine. I mean, people, there's, just because there's so many strains of the flu and they only put a vaccine out for like 1 to 2 strains each year, and it's a different strain, and it might not even be the strain that is, the most active that year. I know we had a big problem with that last year when I worked in the doctor's office, is that people got the flu vaccine, and that wasn't even the strain that was going around that year. And so we had a lot of people coming in with flu symptoms, and they're like, oh, I'm never getting the flu vaccine again. Why would they give out this, why would they give out a strain that protects us, or give out a vaccine that protects us against a certain strain when it's not the one that's prevalent that year?
Yeah.
And they think the vaccine gave them the flu. They're like, oh, they gave me the flu through the vaccine. That's what a lot of people think.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think, if we want to try and narrow it down to just one vaccine, that might be better, because like you said, there is thousands of different vaccines across the world. So.
Right. And I mean, obviously, like, if we're asking people who are over 40 about, the polio vaccine, a lot of people in the older age group have known someone who experienced polio. I haven't, but they're like, yeah, the polio vaccine worked. Obviously, no one gets polio nowadays in the developed world. So, I mean, people are going to feel differently about different vaccines. Polio vaccine, yes. Flu vaccine, no.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea. So, are you okay with that, Hannah? Or?
Yeah, are we going to do the flu vaccine then, or we haven't decided which one?
Let's go ahead and go. I think we should just go with the flu vaccine. I think we can still gather enough research that we need to our primary, and then there's definitely still a lot of articles about it and people's feelings and all that. So I think that's fine.
It doesn't break the honor code in any way, so yeah, no, that's fine for me.
Good gracious, I swear.
Okay, so far I've got, so the age groups that I broke it down into, there's 18 to 25, 25 to 40, and 40 and above.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I've got perceived advantages, or perceived benefits, perceived disadvantages, and then I said perceived notions. So what do they, think about it in general?
Yeah.
So that might be hard to, I mean, that's basically getting an opinion instead of a yes or no, or, question about it. So.
Yeah. When we get to the primary research part of the class, there's a really good survey tool that the school allows us to use, that you can kind of customize how you ask the question and how you get a response and all that. So.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now that we kind of narrowed it down to the flu vaccine, do we want to go in? Did she say that one vaccine was too narrow?
She never said anything like that to me, so, and I don't believe seeing anything.
I feel like all vaccines are too broad. So flu vaccine, I feel, narrows it down a lot. And I feel like a lot of people have an opinion about the flu vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So that's good for me, I feel. And then, so we can each kind of do what we did last week for HPV and research 2 articles apiece. And instead of coming and having a meeting and presenting our research there, I think we should just each write those half a page about each of the research articles that we researched. And so and then put that in the Google Doc.
Okay.
Okay. So
Sorry,
I'm going
what
to.
was that? I was reading her email to see if she said anything. Could you repeat that? Sorry, Acacia.
So kind of like what we did with HPV, where we each researched 2 articles. There's 4 of us now, right? So maybe we should do more. But 2 to 3 articles, and then write a half a page explanation of each article, and then
Okay.
in the Google Doc, and that'll give us, the basis for our 5-page paper.
Okay.
I kind of want this, the half a page. Let's see. Now, Hannah, you're the editor, right?
Yes.
Would you prefer to have that deadline as Saturday night that everyone has those written so you can edit it, or Monday night so that gives us a little more time because it's due on Wednesday?
I think
So-
Monday would be fine. I mean, because then, either way, it's either, you're more rushed and you have it Saturdays and there's more editing, perhaps, or you take a little bit more time and do it Monday so it's a little bit better written and then there's not as much editing. So I think Monday's just fine to have that deadline.
Okay, Monday. I just don't want to, rush you if you were like, okay, Monday night I have all day Tuesday and then I have to submit it on Wednesday. And plus I have, 5 other classes. I didn't want to rush you like that. So.
No, yeah. No, this is kind of my off track. So I only have 2 classes, and so.
Oh, there you go. I've got 5, so.
Yeah, I have 5 last semester.
Crazy
I have
person.
a baby this semester, so that's my that's
Oh, geez.
keeping me busy.
My wife and I are having a baby at the end of this semester, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just had ours in November, so.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, my first semester that I decided to do online, I had just had my first child, so she's 3 now.
Wow.
Yeah. And we just had 3 feet of snow here, so she's been out of preschool for the past 5 days.
Oh,
And
wow.
so today, this is her first day back. Otherwise, you should be right here with me.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of running around like a crazy person trying to get work done for my other 4 classes on time with a 3-year-old, who's constantly right there.
Yeah.
So
5 online classes can be tough, but.
yeah.
Yeah.
The hardest part for me when she was little was like, this is probably gonna make somebody cringe, but feeding. So she didn't take, so like I had to pump.
Oh, yeah.
So and that takes like half an hour. Plus, then you gotta feed her after you pump it, and so it's just like half an hour every 2 hours of pumping, and then half an hour of feeding her. And so I had to like stop studying and then do all that, and then. Ugh.
You just
exclusively
exclusively pumped then and gave her bottles?
I had to.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I considered doing that at one point just because I was like, oh, that seems easier, but I don't think it'd be easier. After I researched it more, I was like, no, that sounds terrible.
No, it's painful at first, but because you don't know what you're doing. But after a while, it's just inconvenient because it takes so much longer.
Yeah.
Than just I hate to use the term just whipping it out and having it done, but sorry.
Okay.
But I actually, even though I was at that time, I was only going to school part-time, and so I only had 2 classes, but still, it when you've have to take a break every 2 hours for an hour, it really set me back. Especially since, you don't have really 2 hours of studying between because you got to take care of the baby most of the time.
Yeah.
So finding time to actually do my schoolwork was hard. And so, and it's hard to study while you're pumping because the pump is huge. So you can't have a computer on your lap and you can't have the baby on your lap and you've got all this stuff around you. And it was just so I have to take an hour and just do nothing during that hour so that I could pump and feed the baby. So I actually ended up not pumping as often as I needed to, and I ended up losing my milk supply at 5 instead of most people breastfeed until at least 12 months. So I ended up losing my milk at 5 months because I didn't pump as often as I needed to because I had to do schoolwork.
Yeah.
So don't do that. That caused a ton of parent guilt for me, having her switch over to entirely formula at 5 months because I didn't, I couldn't responsibly pump and do my schoolwork at the
Well,
same
at
time.
least then they're starting solids pretty soon, or if they haven't already, and so that it's not as big of a deal. They don't need as much breast milk
Yeah.
or formula, so.
My daughter was never a big eater anyways. I mean, she hardly ever finished a bottle.
Oh yeah. Oh, Monty, the joys you have.
Yeah, I'm so
Your wife-
excited. Thank
Is
you
this your
guys.
first? Is this your first child?
Yeah, it's our very first.
Yeah. Your wife will talk to you all the time about stuff. So.
Trust me, she already does, and I'm just like, I really didn't want to know, but
Sorry.
so it's all right though.
So back
Is she
to
a student?
Cooper.
Your wife a student, Monty?
Huh?
Is your wife a student?
No, she graduated about 2 years ago from the RN program.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
yeah, we're happy that she's done. So at least one of us doesn't do this. So
Are you in Idaho, Monty? Is she at Madison?
yeah, we're actually in Rexburg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Does
I
she
just-
is she a nurse at Madison or where does she nurse or where?
she's in the ICU at Ermac.
Okay.
Yeah, so she does it there, and she loves it, and we have a bunch of crazy stories, and it's good. So, like a week ago, she had a pretty sick person, and then a while back, she had a guy that was shot up by the cops, and
Oh my.
yeah, it was interesting. So, are we good to go then, or what do you guys
I
think?
think so. So I think that's pretty much. We're gonna say that that's good. So we've got perceived benefits, disadvantages, and just thoughts in general, I guess, about different age groups and vaccines. So that'll give us quite a few research questions because we're gonna do 18 to 25, 25 to 40, and over 40. Is that what we're kind of doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we want to add more like 40 to 60 or 65 and then retired, geriatrics? Or did they say that geriatrics are one of those off limits?
I think geriatrics, they might be off limits just because of their mental status. Because most people that are above 65, I don't know, it just depends. Because I work in a nursing home, and so anybody above 65, they're not really all there that I know. So I don't know, and it's also kind of depends on if we think we can get a hold of people that are that much older, because I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
No.
true.
Well, my parents are 65. So, but my dad.
Yes, my parents are there, but that's not a large sample size.
Yeah, and I think we have to have at least 30 people for each group that we could to make it technically a good sample size. So I don't know. I hated biostatistics, so I don't
Oh,
know.
me too. Oh my gosh. That
So,
class was
That was
terrible.
one of the first classes I took, so that was about over 3 years ago. So I don't remember very much.
it was a terrible class.
Yep. I kept putting it off
I
every
didn't
semester.
mind it at the time. Like it was one of my first classes. I didn't know any different, I guess, to hate it. So I enjoyed it. But I took statistics in high school and hated that. So it's kind of a refresher for me.
Yeah, it's
And now I
terrible.
don't remember either of them. So
Sweet. All
So
right.
are we gonna split it up as far as who's gonna do benefits and who's gonna do
Oh.
disadvantage, or are we just gonna kind of go for it, or should we
Uh,
kind of?
gonna go for it. I think we should probably each of us should do one of each, but
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and then when I edit it, I'll kind of put it so the benefits are all
Right.
together, and then the disadvantages are all together. And
once you do find one, if you could post the link to it in the Google Doc, that way we don't have a bunch of us, writing a page on the same article.
Okay.
That would help us, I think.
And is Gabby not in our group anymore, or
I don't
does
know.
anybody
I
know?
don't think she is.
Maybe she dropped the class or something.
Yeah, because she's not responding to like anything. So
Yeah. Okay.
And I was trying to look her up on Google Plus. I don't think she has a Gmail. So that might be the problem if she is in the class. Is she's like, I don't have a Gmail, so I'm just not going to respond. But so you know, we will see. I'm gonna try and email her again and be like, okay, here's what we're doing, and then send the link out to this meeting, and then we can kind of go from there. So we're gonna say that we each have a half a page on each of the articles that we researched in the Google Doc by Monday night, and that way that'll give Hannah a chance to kind of edit those and put it all together. Do we know if we have to have like a summary? I guess that is the summary, but a summary of all of the research that we put together, or just kind of a summary of each article?
not sure.
I don't think it matters too much. I mean, probably what'll happen is, we'll get all the information, and they might not all be, exactly half a page, and that's fine because it's just no more than 5 pages. It doesn't have to be exactly 5 pages or whatever. So I could add like a little introduction or a conclusion or something. So I'll kind of play with that and then send it out so people can look over it.
Perfect. So yeah, we've got, okay, so each of us looked up 2 to 3 articles about the flu vaccine, and then make sure you post the link to it in the Google Doc so that we're not all writing a page or half a page on the same article. And then we'll reconvene next Thursday and talk about next week's things.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Did you guys want to do, so I guess we already got our research questions, right? Benefits, disadvantages for different age groups. So we're good there. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.